friends, in this video we are going to tell about the action drama film Shershaah. The movie has received an excellent rating of 9 out of 10 on IMDb. Shershaah movie is based on patriotic events, and some scenes of this movie will fill the passion and patriotism in the viewers as well as make them completely emotional while watching the climax scenes. So let's start the movie. In the beginning of the movie, Indian Army is in battle with Pakistan Army. There was shelling all around. In this, many army soldiers are martyred. Vikram Batra throws a bomb at the point of the opposite army. And after this we are shown the childhood of Vikram Batra, where he is playing cricket in his locality, but the ball accidentally goes to some miscreant children of the locality. Vikram goes to them to get his ball, but those kids are not ready to give the ball. After which Vikram pushes that child and takes his ball. When this thing reaches home, he also tells his father that no one can take away my things from me. After this in the movie we are shown Vikram Batra's lookalike brother, who is telling the story of his brother in the show called In Talk. He tells that in the late 80s everyone did not have TV in their house. But he and his brother had to watch a show called Param Vir Chakra, for which they used to watch that show by standing on the window of his neighbor's house, and from there Vikram decided to become a soldier. Also, when all the children used to go to school in school uniform on the 15th of August, Vikram used to go to school in military uniform, and at the age of 23 his dream of becoming a soldier was also fulfilled. After training, Vikram was joined as a lieutenant in Jammu and Kashmir, and it was there that he met Captain Rajiv Kapoor and Nib Subedar Bansilal. At the army base, he met his commanding officer, Major Mukherjee. Vikram's roommates were LT Sanjeev Jamwal and Ajay Singh. Then after a month, we are shown in the movie that Vikram Batra started living in harmony with the local people there, and due to which the rest of the officers were not happy, because the people of the town could not be trusted. Anyone could have been involved with terrorists. In this, they get the news that the illegal weapons are going to be transferred at the Kulhar Bagh checkpost, because of which the army check the vehicles at that checkpost. In this, a man starts firing on the army and tries to run away. The army also starts firing in response, and after some time firing a prisoner is arrested. After which Sanjeev Jamwal says thank you to Vikram because he saved his life in the firing. When Vikram goes to his room, he finds Dimple's letter there, and seeing the letter, Vikram has a big smile on his face. Dimple also sent a gift, and that day was 11 February. Due to which Vikram starts remembering some things of his past. Like when he was in his college, he liked Dimple, then Dimple used to ignore him, and it was on the 11th of February. When Dimple saw him. Once those people had gone for a trip with their group, and there Vikram spoke to Dimple for the first time, and both of them also told their feelings to each other. Since then both of them started meeting daily. Once Vikram proposes Dimple for marriage in the middle of the road itself, and Dimple also says yes. But at the same time Dimple's father sees both of them with each other and invites Vikram to his house. Here he tells that both are Punjabi but belong to different caste, and tells to forget Dimple. After this, Vikram tells about Dimple at his house. Vikram's family had no problem with this, but Dimple's father was worried about it, due to which he fixes Dimple's marriage elsewhere. Dimple gets angry on this and clearly tells her parents that she will marry only Vikram, or else she will not do it with anyone. Vikram wanted to become a soldier since childhood, but joins the merchant navy to convince Dimple's father, as their salary was high. Vikram's friend Sunny even forbids him to do so, so he leaves the merchant navy the very next day. Which makes Dimple angry, as Vikram was changing his mind after every few days. That's why Dimple tells Vikram that don't change now, focus on one thing and don't call or try to meet me until you join the army. After which the story comes to the present, where the person who was arrested by Vikram was Herder's man. Jaiswal gives all the credit to Vikram, but Vikram gives the credit to his teamwork. Vikram asks his senior Mukherjee who informed him about today's operation, to which Mukherjee says neither of us should know about each other's informers, and one should not even dare to ask. He punishes Vikram to go to the night ground for this misbehavior. On the other hand, we see Haider in the movie and he kills 4 people from Kashmir who sympathize with the Indian army and plan to send 4 boys to Pakistan in an unprovoked manner. And in exchange for one of his men, he also plans to kill 13 soldiers of the Indian army. Also, the 4 people he killed are hanged. Vikram was out for night patrolling with an officer. The officer tells his Vikram about his 6-month-old daughter and says that this time when he goes on leave, he will take his daughter in his arms for the first time. Vikram says that arrangements have to be made for good studies for her. Let me open the first FD for her future. On the way they meet Gafur, to whom Vikram often used to go to drink. Gafur says, "Vikram sir, I was coming to meet you," and he takes him to his house. The fellow officer forbids Vikram to go to his house alone, but Vikram, trusting Gafur and goes to his house alone. And there he learns that Gafur's son Aslam has fallen into the wrong company, that is, he was misled by Haider's terrorists. But now he wants to get out of those things. They want to send Aslam to Pakistan in a wrong way. Vikram asks to talk to his seniors about this, but Gafur says that he can only trust Vikram. If Vikram does not help them, then both of them will leave the town and go somewhere else. Vikram asks Aslam to stay with them. But Gafur objected to this. He did not want Aslam to become an informer. Vikram tells to have faith. After this scene, a military operation is shown, where some weapons are recovered. Army soldiers are taking him to their base camp. On the way they find a child with his sheep and goats. Army soldiers ask him to clear the way. Then all of a sudden terrorists attacked, and one after the other bombs start detonating. Along with this, many terrorists attack the military personnel with bullets, and Vikram also kills many terrorists in firing. Just then a red car comes there and starts taking the terrorists with them. Then Vikram's bullets run out, due to which some terrorists manage to escape. Martyred army soldiers are wrapped in the national flag and sent to their homes. In this attack, the officer who was about to carry his daughter in his arms for the first time is also killed. Thinking of this brings tears to Vikram's eyes, as he had given his life to save Vikram. Joshi sir talks about taking revenge for it. Vikram goes to Gafur's house and asks Aslam to meet him, but Gafur does not allow him. Vikram assures their safety. Gafur says that you could not save your soldiers. What will save us? Just then Aslam comes out and reveals Haider's address to Vikram. Vikram tells his seniors about this, and Joshi sir says that if your information turns out to be wrong, then it can be very costly. So Vikram says on this matter that if this information turns out to be wrong, then I myself will take out the star of my shoulder and put it in front of you. Then a senior officer wants to know who is Vikram's informer, on whom Vikram has so much confidence. Vikram says that I have learned from you sir that neither ask anyone about his source information. Then Joshi sir gives permission for the operation. At night Vikram goes to Aslam's mentioned place with some of his companions and calls Joshi sir and asks permission to go inside. Joshi sir says that you cannot go to that house until Haider is seen, because I do not want any civilian to die. No one knew how many people were in that house and who was where. But Vikram was leading this team. He enters the house without the permission of Joshi sir and starts killing the terrorists. There were also some ladies in the house. He does not kill them. There were 3 women in the innermost room as well. Vikram leaves them and starts going back. But then Vikram has doubts on a woman with a mask. As soon as Vikram moves towards her, Haider attacks Vikram and the two start fighting. And Vikram kills Haider. After that everyone in Vikram's entire battalion starts praising Vikram, that the 24-year-old boy so bravely killed Haider. Here Vikram explains his philosophy that if you are a soldier, then you win by chance, love by choice, and kill by profession. But the rest of the terrorists start planning to avenge Haider's death, and on the other hand Vikram comes to his house. There Vikram goes to a Gurudwara with Dimple, and when Dimple is wearing the chakra of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Vikram holds Dimple's dupatta and walks with Dimple and at last tells Dimple that in this way their marriage occurred. After that, both spend some time together. One day Vikram is at his house and news comes on TV that Pakistanis have captured the 4 soldiers of Jat regiments. Vikram's friend was upset with the news going on that maybe now a war is about to start between the two countries. He tells Vikram to kill everyone but come back safely, on which Vikram says that, "Main tiranga ladkar kar rang, ya phir asmeen lipat kar rang lekin rang jarua." Although there was still a few days left for Vikram to go back to the army camp, but he was going back the very next day. After the news, due to which Dimple gets upset, then Vikram says that we got married according to Sikh customs, but I have to do it according to Hindu customs too. Vikram then cuts off his hand and fills the space in Dimple's head with his own blood, and after a sweet hug, Vikram returns to the army. Then the news comes to know that the dead bodies of the 4 soldiers who were taken captive by the Pakistanis have been found. The post-mortem report of these dead bodies is heartbreaking. With this news, Indian Army getting ready for war, Vikram's team goes to Dumri base where already had hundreds of army officers. But suddenly the bombing starts there. There is a stampede among the soldiers. Many soldiers were saved from this, but number of soldiers were also killed there. Jaiswal sir of Vikram's team is also killed in this bombing. This news is shown on TV, after which Dimple gets very upset. After this, Joshi sir gives all the soldiers their code names before going to the Kargil war. He codes himself Chanakya, Rajiv Kapoor as Maharana Pratap and Vikram Batra as Shershaah. He is given the task of recapturing .5140 and all the soldiers are ready for it. This war was to be fought at an altitude of 17,000 and due to which the oxygen level of the soldiers was going to decrease as the soldiers had to climb to the height and could not go there due to enemy was in the dominating position. It was about to start its operation at night. Jimmy's Bravo company was going to destroy the hideout. .4875 and for this the officers ask Vikram's battalion to rest and were about to send another battalion. But Vikram refuses to rest and wants to end the war and convinces Joshi sir for this. After this, Vikram calls Dimple and assures that after doing this mission he will come to meet her and both will get married in front of the world. On the 7th of July 1999, Vikram Batra prepares his battalion for war and then they make a plan and leave for the war. Their encounter with the another army continues for a long time, due to which many people on both sides are killed. Vikram Batra, along with other officers of the Indian Army, bravely faces the enemies. After a long fight, the last bunker was yet to be captured and this was the opening scene of the movie. Vikram Batra goes to the front line attack with the grenade and throws it in that last bunker. But at one place and fires at Vikram's companion. Vikram goes to save his partner Yashpal and the sniper keeps firing bullets at Vikram. Due to which Vikram's companion is saved, but Vikram Batra gets badly injured. At the same moment, the Indian Army blows up that sniper with a bomb. While dying, Vikram Batra sees his national flag waving at that place. This is a very emotional moment. After this, a body wrapped in the national flag is sent to his house, where a large number of people attend his funeral and this scene makes everyone very emotional. Here you guys will not be able to stop your tears after seeing this emotional moment. Everyone remembers the moment spent with Vikram and Dimple breaks down crying. And this is how a pure soul leaves the world at a very young age. After this, the interview of the real Vikram Batra is shown. After his death, Vikram was awarded the Param Vir Chakra. And Dimple hasn't married yet. At the end, along with some last moments of Vikram, the movie pays tribute to the 527 army Jawans who sacrificed their lives in the Kargil war. After this, the movie. Hope you have liked this movie Shershaah based on Vikram Batra's real life story. Please write in the comment section and share it as much as possible. Also don't forget to subscribe our channel.